All right, buckle up, everybody. We're going deep today, like really deep, into the world of Tim Siahatgar, award-winning architectural engineer and designer. This guy is all about, you guessed it, sustainable building solutions. And we've got an exclusive interview with him, straight from the source, folks.
You know, it's fascinating. It's not just designing buildings with Siahatgar. It's like inventing a whole new construction approach.
Yeah, and seriously. And hold on to your hats. He's got this, get this, dream of a global network of sustainable homes, like a whole network that can withstand anything, even natural disasters.
Oh, and
You're not going to believe this. There's this story, right, about construction workers mistaking one of his structures. They thought it was a spaceship, aluminum, super lightweight. They're like, whoa, what is this thing?
I can't wait to hear that one.
We'll get to it. But first, let's talk about Siahatgar himself. So, background, architectural engineering, solid understanding of structural systems, modular design, the whole shebang, and clearly passionate about sustainability from day one. He even says in the interview, quote, "Design is my passion because it allows me to create solutions that improve the way we live while respecting the environment."
You know, that really captures the essence of what's happening in architecture today, globally. This push for eco-conscious building. Siahatgar, he's at the forefront.
Totally. Leading the charge.
Yeah.
And his inspiration, get this, Buckminster Fuller. Geodesic domes, anyone.
Fuller. Revolutionary, especially for his time. It's interesting to see those same, threads of innovation, pushing boundaries. You see that in Siahatgar's work, too.
Yeah, definitely. Pushing boundaries is right. Cue the M.H.S. structural aluminum framing system. This is it. This is his big invention. Changing the construction game. Big time. Forget wood and concrete. We're talking aluminum. With his unique interlocking clamp system.
So like giant Lego set, but for buildings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Snap together. Makes construction faster, more efficient. And get this. Houses. A&D commercial buildings. Imagine that.
Wow. I mean, the potential is huge.
Yeah.
It's kind of modular construction, transforming how we approach building, from homes to entire cities.
Right. And the environmental impact. We all know traditional construction, resource heavy, not good. Siahatgar's system, minimize that. Plus, potential for disassembly. Reuse those structures.
Reuse, that's key. Reduces waste. Construction becomes more circular, like the circular economy everyone's talking about.
Exactly. Building system for the future. He says it best himself in the interview. Quote, "Design with simplicity and purpose, innovate with sustainability, and create for the future." Boom.
Powerful. It's not just about sustainable building. It's a shift in thinking. Design thinking. Simple, purpose-driven, thinking about long-term impact.
Totally. But it wasn't all easy, you know. This system
Huh.
took over a decade to perfect.
A decade. That's commitment. And I bet it wasn't just the technical stuff. Convincing an entire industry to change how they do things, that's a challenge.
Oh, for sure. Regulatory challenges. Training construction crews. Even finding the right materials. Not a walk in the park.
You see, that's classic. You bring in a disruptive technology, like really shake things up. Resistance is inevitable.
Siahatgar, he didn't give up. Kept refining, testing, pushing those boundaries.
And that's it, isn't it? That's the lesson. Whether you're designing something or just facing a challenge, it's about perseverance, learning from those setbacks. Never stop improving. It really is inspiring.
And speaking of inspiring,
Yeah.
we have to talk about Siahatgar's dream project, okay? He imagines, picture this, a global network of communities built entirely with this M.H.S. system. It's like futuristic Lego villages, but sustainable, resilient.
That's ambitious. But it also, it addresses some big challenges we face: affordable housing, climate change, natural disasters.
Exactly. Siahatgar's vision, it's tackling those head on. These communities, they'd be net zero energy. Think solar panels, smart energy systems, minimal waste.
Yeah, reducing our reliance on fossil fuels, that's got to be a priority, right?
Absolutely. And get this, the M.H.S. system, it's being tested for earthquake resistance. Imagine a structure that can withstand, like the strongest earthquakes.
Wow, that's incredible, especially for areas, prone to earthquakes. That kind of system could be a game changer.
Right. And it's not just about safety. Siahatgar is all about customizable spaces, too. You could, adjust the layout of your home, add modules as your family grows, even relocate the entire house if you need to move.
That's amazing, that level of flexibility. It changes how we think about homes, not static anymore, more fluid, adaptable.
Right. And this vision, it might not be as far off as we think. Modular construction, it's gaining traction, especially for affordable housing and disaster relief.
Yeah, we're already seeing it. Modular units used as shelters after disasters. And in cities where space is tight, They're a real solution for affordable housing.
It's fascinating to see how it's all evolving. So let's zoom out for a sec. Talk about good design in general.
Hmm.
Siahatgar, he talks about this balance, right?
Mhm.
Functionality, aesthetics, sustainability.
He's right on the money there. Good design. It's not just about looks, it's about spaces that work,
Yeah.
that are beautiful, and that respect the environment.
Okay, imagine a chair, right? A well-designed chair. It's comfortable, ergonomics, that's the functionality. It's visually appealing. Shape, materials, craftsmanship, that's aesthetics. And it's made to last. Durable material, so it doesn't end up in a landfill. That's sustainability.
Perfect example. And you see it in architecture too. Buildings with natural light to save energy, using recycled materials in cool ways, green roofs to combat heat.
Exactly. Good design. It's about enhancing our lives
Yeah.
in a meaningful way. So it makes you think, right, what impact does good design have on us?
Well, I mean, think about it. Good design is everywhere. Your workspace, a well-designed one, can boost productivity, reduce stress.
Mhm.
A park that's designed thoughtfully can create a sense of community, connect people with nature.
It really is all around us.
Yeah.
Now, let's say you're listening and you're like, hey, design sounds cool. Maybe I should try that. What advice does Siahatgar have for aspiring designers?
He keeps it pretty simple. Stay curious. Embrace challenges. Never stop learning. He lives by that too. Even now, always exploring new stuff.
A true lifelong learner.
Yeah.
And there are so many resources out there. Online courses, workshops, communities, mentorship.
Don't be afraid to, experiment. Try new things. Push your own boundaries. Don't let fear hold you back sometimes. Failure, that's the best way to learn.
Speaking of learning, remember that story I mentioned?
Yeah.
Construction workers? Spaceship.
Oh, yeah. Tell me.
Okay, so picture this. One of the first MHS modules is being installed, and the construction crew, they're blown away by how light the aluminum is. They're probably used to, like heavy concrete, steel beams.
I bet they were surprised.
Right. And one of them jokes, asks if they're building a spaceship.
Haha, that's great. But it also, it highlights something important. This system, it's a paradigm shift. We're moving away from those heavy materials towards lighter, more sustainable options.
Yeah, it's not just about weight. It's about efficiency, adaptability, minimizing that environmental impact. So where does Siahatgar go from here? What's next?
Well, he's got big plans. Expanding the MHS system globally. Imagine that. Bringing sustainable building to the whole world.
That's huge. And those earthquake tests, he's going all out, simulating major earthquakes on a full-scale MHS building.
Wow, that's serious testing. We'll learn a lot from that data about how the system performs.
Exactly. Imagine safer, more resilient communities in earthquake-prone areas.
Yeah.
Like those shake table tests, the ones they use for earthquake simulations.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But with a real building this time, it's going to be fascinating to see the results. It shows, innovation never stops. We're always learning, adapting, pushing those boundaries.
So we've covered a lot about Tim Siahatgar today. Revolutionary framing system, vision for sustainable communities. It's clear, right? This guy is a true innovator. What stands out to you most?
I think it's his dedication to combining technology and sustainability. It's not just about buildings for him. It's about solutions for the future.
Yeah, for sure. It's inspiring to see someone so committed to pushing those boundaries in sustainable design.
And he's not just talking about it. He's living it. Remember, lifelong learner, always pushing himself to grow.
It makes you think, doesn't it? How we can all embrace that mindset, stay curious, keep learning, challenge ourselves.
Absolutely. Maybe Siahatgar's story will inspire some future designers out there.
I hope so. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I got to ask you, if you could design something, a building, a community, anything, what problem would you solve?
That's a tough one. I think I'd focus on creating a space for community, but one that's also, super sustainable. Maybe a community center that uses renewable energy and promotes sustainable living.
That's awesome. I love that idea. What about you? What would you design if you could solve one problem?
For me, I think I'd focus on housing, affordable housing in cities, adaptable spaces. That can change as people's needs change.
I like that. Creating that sense of belonging, even in a busy city.
Exactly.
It's amazing what design can do, right, when you think about it.
It really is.
And Siahatgar's work is a perfect example of that.
Yeah.
If you're interested in learning more about his projects, especially that M.H.S. system, we'll have links to his website in the show notes. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We'll see you next time.